Perfect.
Excellent.
We are live. Oh, well, we're not live. We're recording now. Welcome, Martin.
Thank you, sir. I want to say thank you for this opportunity as well.
Oh, that's
to be
okay.
here. And yeah, I'm very excited to get the conversation started.
How shall we start? Well, usually it's tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, born and raised in northwest of Victoria.
Okay. Country boy.
Sure. Sure. As well as I am also Egyptian. Well, 3/4 Egyptian and also a quarter Palestinian.
Right.
And I'm first generation, so Egyptian, Palestinian, Australian. Yeah, that's the first generation because everyone was born and raised in Egypt except me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
As in your mum and dad and your siblings.
yep,
Right.
yeah. So I'm the only Aussie boy,
Right.
basically. Born and raised in Northwest. I lived in Delahaye for 21 years, and then when my parents divorced in 2012, I was just moving around.
Yeah.
Uh,
As you do when parents divorce.
Absolutely, unfortunately, yeah. Because I was living with my mum for a period of time because she needed a man around the house because it's only just me and my sister,
Right.
my only sister. So my mother needed a man around the house like to help her with a few things. And
What's the age difference between you and your sister?
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, she was
She's
born in
older.
'85. Yeah, she was born in '85. I was born in '90.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm. More about me. I'm a very caring person. I'm a very wise person, very observant person, and yeah, that's all I got for now. The top of my head.
Now, you run a podcast as well.
Yes, as you can see, I'm wearing the Real Talk with Labzy merch. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Lil's Gifts and Custom Prints. No, sorry, let me say that again. Lil's Gifts and Custom Prints. That's the one. It was the other way around. I love to call her my little sister because I've known her since high school.
Yeah.
And she does like all the signages and stuff like that. She does like prints on t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. And
Here in Melbourne.
yes, she lives in Mickleham, so she's in the north.
Okay.
And she came to me one day and she says, "Why don't we do merch for your show?" I'm like, "Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes." And I also have my own mug as well.
Yeah.
And I was just very happy with that. And
I'm looking for a new printer actually
yeah,
for my merch.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Because I'm just not happy with the delivery time because it's got to come from overseas.
Yeah.
I'm like, I fucking want it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I can give you her details.
Yeah, cool.
And then you guys can talk and then discuss with her what you want. And,
Yeah,
and
cool,
then she'll
cool.
do it. She does it all in her garage.
Yeah.
So she's got like the massive, like the printer and all like the laser thing, and it's like a whole massive workshop.
It's so technical here. The laser thing.
Yes, exactly, the laser thing.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
thingy.
You're obviously a English literature person, not a technology person.
See,
And you're Mexican.
yeah, sure. See, I'm not, and also I'm a goofy person as well, so I'm not afraid to just be myself. You know, I'm not afraid to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Which I encourage a lot of people never, ever, ever to shy to be yourself. Just be yourself.
Yeah. It's just you're just authentically you.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I've been an idiot in front of the camera for such a long time now, and it either magnetizes people towards you or it polarizes them against you, right?
Yeah.
And
But if they do that, then they are not your people.
yeah,
It's that simple.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But what I find is, I encourage so many people to get in front of the camera, because it's important. It's important for either the work that you're doing or just even for your own self-confidence, and to work on your personal brand or whatever. And you don't have to be in front of the camera and act like an idiot like me. You can be in front of the camera and do what you do, and just be you, right? for example, like with photographers who shoot boudoir, go do a boudoir shoot, right? Get a photographer to shoot you in the exact same theme that you focus in on, because then you get to feel how your clients or your models feel when you're shooting them, and it makes you more relatable, you know?
Yeah, it's basically you putting yourself in their shoes in that situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. Absolutely.
And I think the fact that social media is not very social,
No.
being in front of the camera and having a conversation with a camera is, I guess, kind of helping break through that a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because it's all about your personality.
Yeah, I mean, even when I was, because I've always loved acting, I've always loved being kind of like the center of attention, you could say. I think it's just a Middle Eastern thing where it is.
Cultural appropriation.
Yes, exactly.
Warning.
Yes. Because, well, I mean, I think it's because I come from a line of artists myself, like where my father was in a band. He did acoustic. He used to sing a little bit of songwriting, as well as my uncle, who knows how to produce, songwrite in English, Italian, Arabic, and French. And he was in a band as well.
Yeah.
And my cousin is a rapper, goes by the name of New Age Poet. And my other cousin, which is his brother, is also a producer as well. And my dad was in about, we'll say, 6-7 Egyptian films back in the day.
Wow.
So he would be the band in the background when the camera focuses on the main characters.
Yeah.
And he would be in the band in the background.
Yeah.
So he did well for himself.
Yeah.
At the time, but I think, then obviously him moving here to Australia, he wanted a better life, I think.
Well, things change.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
It's a different environment.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think that's where my kind of just expression of imagination kind of where that came from.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, okay, well, I'm not afraid to just be myself, like be an idiot, be the class clown, you know, that type of stuff, you know. And because obviously, love my cartoons, I love my
anime.
I do like anime. Yes, I'm getting into more in the anime.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z, of course. Yu-Gi-Oh. Yes. I watched Ultimate Hellsing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a no.
Okay.
No.
No.
You said animation. I said anime, and then you lost me because I know nothing about anime.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Although I
there
do
you
know
go.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
But that's about it.
Hell yeah.
Hey, let's just be honest here.
Yeah. Of course.
I just don't have the time.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. But I'm saying growing up watching them as a kid. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it was just, I don't know, it just makes me feel good when I'm, you know, either in front of the camera or whatever, you know, trying to. It's the whole, hey, look at me, look what I can do kind of personality. And that's always been a part of me. I think it's just a generational thing, I think.
It's probably some deep entrenched childhood trauma.
Yes,
and
maybe.
And the need to I don't know, I guess just express yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I found that as I've gotten older, I am delving more and more into the like creative space rather than because I've got an electrical engineering background.
Nice.
And it is actually the hardest engineering that you could do because you can't see it. And you make one mistake and people can die, right?
Oh, okay.
From electricity. But
pay would have been amazing though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't even do that. I did the training. I tried to get an apprenticeship. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Although, so funny. So right before I finished, the lecturer was like, "Oh, there's a couple of apprenticeships going off the oil and gas company off the coast of WA, but in order to apply, you have to go do like 4 days worth of testing, right? So you're like, oh, like everybody in the fucking class applied.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
2,000 people.
Damn.
2,000 people for 4 days.
Damn.
I got down to the last 8.
Ooh.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Hell
and
yeah.
and then the next phase was sitting with the with 5 board members, and you get grilled. I was 18 at that time, and
Man.
I was a completely different person,
Yeah, of course.
and
Yeah.
so like I bombed out.
Yeah.
But like if I got through, they put you on the helicopter course.
Yeah.
Where they submerge a helicopter and turn it upside down so that you know how to escape. And then they fly you out to the rig for 3 days. And then you come back and then you make a decision on whether or not you can live there. And then they tell you whether or not they want you.
Okay.
So I was like, well, maybe it's
Nah.
not for me.
Maybe it's, no, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds intense.
So after that, I did security
Nice.
and worked at a strip club.
Nice. Nice. How do you here's a question for you though. How do you kind of, keep your eyes up there when they're not, when they're topless? How do you try to keep your eyes up there when you're talking to the girls?
You just have to keep your eyes up there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not that hard.
I know. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I think you get used, when you get used to it, probably, you have that. Yeah. But at the beginning, you're just like,
Nah.
no? Okay.
No, I can turn that switch off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I mean, it is a constant question that I get from my mates.
Yeah.
They're always like, "Oh, how do you do what you do?" Da, da, da. I'm like, bro, as soon as I pick up,
You'd have stories though. You'd have stories. I need to get me one of them. I need to get me one of them.
I fucking have stories. But yeah, when I pick up that camera, bro, it's like I'm fucking RoboCop.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
like
Yeah, because we've got a job to do.
yeah. But like
Yeah.
I've got so many mates that are like, "Oh, can we come hold the light?" I'm like, join the fucking list. And in actual fact, I got fucking stands. There is no lighting guy. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
There's no lighting guy. I have stands.
Oh man, but yeah, do you have like a diary of the stories of what's happened? I feel like you do.
No, I don't
okay.
I don't keep a journal.
Okay.
It's all in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I've hey, so over 12 years, 1,400 shoots.
Oh, damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2023 was my busiest.
Yeah.
I did 227 shoots that year.
Jesus. Jesus. Well, which raises the question, how do you have time for yourself though?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I did that to myself. Okay, next question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to beat that
Yeah.
227, but like it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like the year before I did 187, so it like smashed it.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
227's just might just have to be in the books for a long time.
Yeah. No, you'll get there, man.
Yeah.
You get there.
Yeah.
Does it have to be like big jobs to add the next point to that, or is it small job, big job, doesn't matter?
Small job doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you would have your period of you'd have small jobs and then a little bit of big jobs. And then
Yeah.
it might go small job, big job, small job, big job, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
big jobs and then small jobs.
Yeah,
again.
that's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what would you be doing if you weren't like creatively astute?
It's a good question. I mean, because I originally wanted to be a Hollywood actor.
Yeah.
And
You still can be.
Yes.
You can believe in yourself.
I had to time that right, by the way. Yeah. See, this is what makes it fun, though.
Yeah.
Those buttons make it extra fun.
I know. It's extra fun when I can't remember what sound is on what button.
So we take the leap of faith. Okay. So the gold button is that one. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Right.
but then there's okay, we'll just do a quick
I can turn my voice into a monster.
Does it affect me too? No, it doesn't.
No, No, it doesn't.
I just need helium, and then I'll have that voice.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is this? No, this one's not so funny.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Button.
Oh, hang on. You gotta go. You gotta turn that off and then switch it back. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
It's just all fun.
It's all. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I need to get one of those. I need to get one of those.
It fucked me though. Like after I did my first one, I was on the road website and they had a firmware update. So I was like, "Oh, sweet firmware update."
Mm.
Reset, factory reset, everything.
Oh no.
I was like, "Bro," and then
There's no setting like to save the progress, like it's a video game of some kind. But like isn't there like you
Oh.
kind of save the progress and then if you update it, it just goes back to that?
Yeah, I think though the firmware update doesn't save anything previously.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which is shit.
Yeah.
So
That's annoying.
Anyway, so I haven't done a firmware update since.
Okay.
I haven't had to.
Well, that's
everything,
right. There's no
everything
point.
works.
As long as everything works, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's it. What for?
Just
why,
don't-
why fix what's not broken?
Just don't mess with my AI when I like do the AI editing.
Mm,
Do you use AI editing?
no,
No.
I don't use any editing whatsoever
Oh.
with my show. No.
What do you mean?
So
because it's split
because-
screen, always split screen.
yeah, because it's already the split screen when someone goes on Instagram Live. I mean, but in saying that, I do have so shout out to Podcast Cartel, which I've been a part of
Yeah.
since October last year,
Mhm.
and Simon, who owns the Podcast Cartel, he's the one that does like the little editing and stuff. He adds like a little intro to my thing, like a little music and voiceover, and he does this thing where it's not just split screen, but he found a way to kind of make it like side to side landscape.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that's it. So it's nothing too real crazy. No,
Yeah.
nothing like what you'll have to do with all of this.
Yeah.
Nah, it's nothing like that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he even said, "No, yours is piss easy. I just do a little bit, and then that's it. It's done."
Yeah. Cool.
I try to keep it as simple as possible, but effective.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So why acting? Why did you want to get into acting?
I think it was the best way to express myself, as you were mentioning before.
Yeah.
And I think it was just, I don't know, I just liked making people laugh. What the two of the biggest comedians that I looked up to is Jim Carrey and was
Fuck, did I know you were gonna say Jim Carrey? I was like, he's gonna say Jim Carrey. He's gonna say Jim Carrey, and you fucking said it. I think it's your mannerisms.
maybe,
Yeah.
but it's also Robin Williams as well as Eddie Murphy.
Oh.
So I would
Eddie Murphy Raw.
yeah, and Delirious.
Yeah.
Oh man, come on, man, come on now,
Yeah.
come on. Bro, the first time when I watched Eddie Murphy Delirious, it was in my room. My sister was there. My two cousins were there. The rapper and the producer. And we were watching there. And mind you, I was like 7, I think it was like 6, 7 years old. And mind you, there's no swearing in the house,
Yeah.
right? Especially with, old school Arabs that
Yeah.
live in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you just see Eddie Murphy Delirious just swearing. I'm just freezing. Like if my parents hear this,
Yeah.
like someone's getting the slipper at our heads, and that we'll never miss. So, and then yeah, like because I've always loved Eddie Murphy because of like Beverly Hills Cop as well as 48 Hours, those types of movies that he was in. Also Trading Places as well when he was in his in his prime. And then yeah, I think it just made when I realized when I made people laugh, it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it gives me kind of purpose in a way because my purpose, because I got this question asked on the Macedonian podcast, which is a part of the Podcast Cartel, and they asked me what is my purpose. And my purpose, and I answered it. I said my purpose is to be the example on there are still good people in the world. That's all it is.
Why?
Because there is corruption in this world, and I feel like because of media, social media as well, really kind of makes us focus solely on the negative. And then that's where people have that negative mindset on, oh, there's never going to be any good people, or we don't trust anybody, blah, blah, blah. But then I said to myself, no, well, I think this is what the purpose is for me, to be the example, because I've learned the hard way that I can't be the best person, because that's impossible. Because you got so many personalities in this world, 8 billion people on this planet, which means that you have infinite amount of personalities and you won't be able to impress them all. So it's just, yeah, it's just that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do what I can, do my best, be there for the person if they need. They know where I'm at. I ask the question, what can I do to help? That's the main question I ask, because I want to help, but I want your consent in order for me to help. Because if I try to help without the consent, then things can go wrong as well. So that's why the best question to ask, if you want to try help someone, you have to ask that question: what can I do to help? And that will go a long way. Trust me on this. So, and then as I kept practicing that, and then, yeah, I'm confident to say that I'm one of the most respected people in my area.
I think it's hard though, right? When you're growing up and trying to fit in.
Oh, yeah.
And doing all this type of stuff, to then try to work out like what's your purpose, but then to be able to land on it and then just like develop it even more and more. Like, where did that mindset kind of come from?
Well, as you said, it was trying to fit in. It's trying to have a lot of friends, try to be, because the issue was when I was younger, I was too Arab for the Aussies and too Aussies for the Arabs. That's what. So you don't know where you belong there, right? And it's trying
I've got a story for you, but continue.
Yeah, happy to hear it. So you try to figure out, again, like when you're trying to, be the class clown or trying to be funny, you're trying to get people to like you, and then you're not thinking of, of their personality. You're not thinking of how their mindset is. It's just because in my mind it was like, oh, if I just make people laugh, then they'll like me and I'll have a lot of friends and then we should be sweet. But it's like there's a difference between being liked and being respected. You don't have to like me to respect me. So I would rather be respected than liked. I had to understand the difference. Because
and what is the difference?
The difference is when you're liked, you are not authentically yourself. When you're respected, you're authentically yourself. Because it's up to you. It's even like, because I'll be honest, this is the first time you and I have met, right? You don't have to. You don't have to like me for what things I say or on this podcast or whatever, but you can respect the fact that I have the balls to actually say whatever's on my mind without any, thinking twice. And a lot of people envy that because they wish they can do that, so they respect that. You know what I mean? And when you're trying to be liked, it's like it's like you're a yes man to everyone. You know what I mean?
Oh, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I'll be 35 this year.
You got like the old wise man brain.
Oh yeah, that's another thing as well, because I feel like I'm very wise for my age, and I get it from everywhere. I get it from social media. Does help if you look at the right pages, as well as you conversate with a lot of people, because I love like talking to a lot of people as well, just to really, because I love to learn as well, and which is interesting because I actually did not finish high school. I got kicked out a week before we finished. Please do not ask me how that's possible.
Well, I'm going to ask you, how is that possible?
Okay, so what happens is one of the coordinators.
None of this is scripted. None of this is scripted
at all. My phone's over here. Mine's not in my hands. So yeah, it was one of those things where the coordinator had this belief where I'm just wasting my time. Like, there's a lot of other complaints, or my grades are not that great. And which in her defense, I was also a follower as well. Like, I was following what everyone else was doing. So so when someone was doing an assignment or something, someone would be like, "Oh, how did you do it?" I was like, "I don't know. I just wrote something and I just did whatever, and I just did that and I got the grade. I'm like, okay, so I'll do the same thing, but then my marks were lower than everyone else's. So it's like, but they don't tell you how they actually did it. So I kind of, and then as I kept doing that and trying to figure out how to get the grades up, but then it didn't work, and then that's when the coordinator came to me saying, "Oh, well, you're just wasting your time here," which is a bad timing as well, because that was when I actually started to turn myself around and be like, "No, all right, I was actually doing very well in maths and also English as well. It was actually improving. Even the teachers were surprised, but then." Because the coordinator didn't get that information, that's when she's like, "Oh no, you're done." A week before we basically finished, I'm like,
That's
how?
crazy.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
I'm just like, how is? Like, I'm like, all right, cool. But what's really interesting is that because from what I've heard, there has to be a legal document to say that I've been kicked out.
Right.
But because that never happened, I could have just if I had the mentality back then, I would have been like, yeah, well, I didn't sign anything, so yeah. But because when you are a Middle Eastern kid that did not finish school, you have to face your father, which is full of pride, by the way, because my dad was born in 1950. So for the
Old school.
yeah, like the definite, like to a point where like he was born in like not even 10 years after World War II finished.
Did he get the whip out? Sorry. Too soon.
Pause.
Too soon. Oh shit.
That one. That one.
No whip.
Oh no, I got the whip, I got the belt, I got the shoe.
Jesus Christ.
But not in this situation, no. It was more of my dad kind of knew. He knew that he knew I wasn't gonna finish.
You know what it tells me though? That and I think about this more and more, like the education system isn't right for everybody.
No.
And I certainly feel like I've learned more outside of school than I did in school.
Absolutely.
Because you actually learn about how to deal with like everyday life problems.
Exactly.
And there is something that has to be said about being street smart as opposed to academic smart.
Yeah.
You know?
Because there's a difference. Because I even thought about this like a few years ago as well, is that there's a difference between I would rather be street smart than book smart.
Oh, yeah.
Because street smart, you're actually experiencing it right there, and you're actually learning as you go. With books, if you're book smart, they just give you an idea of what happens from other people's experiences.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're street smart, I feel like you have this survivor mentality where whenever you'll come across like certain pressures or certain problems, your mind frame is always like, I'll work it out.
Yep.
I'll work it out.
Because there's a solution somewhere.
Yeah, there's a solution somewhere. It just hasn't presented itself, but I'll find it.
And the problem with the education system is that they teach us that there's only one right answer.
Yeah, when there's clearly multiple.
There's many answers. There's many answers to a problem.
I mean, Marvel kind of introduced that with all the metaverse timelines, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
Not even in the multiverse. If you look at the comics themselves, like they do different versions of the same character.
yeah.
And so, and that's where, there's always a solution to everything. And they do that in different series and different comics to show that, okay, yes, there's a solution to this problem here. There's another solution to this problem here, and so on.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then that's why I've always hated this the education system, because it's like it's all about creating workers and not thinkers.
I don't hate it necessarily. I just think that it wasn't really for me.
Yeah, well, the same with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always believed that school is still important regardless because of the general knowledge, learning how to read, learning how to spell, those types of things. Those things are obviously important. You can still learn it.
You don't really need to read and spell.
Yeah, English good, SMRT.
English good.
English good. Me fail English, that's impossible.
Just do voice to text.
There you go.
Chat GPT.
Yes.
Write me an eloquent email.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, God. But it was the same thing. But you know what? Speaking of that, though, I remember when Google came out, when it first came out in '98, and
Everyone was shit scared.
oh man, everyone was scared. Everyone was scared. Even the schools were scared because they're like, well, if they can get the answers like that, they could just copy and paste from the internet to Microsoft Word, and they'll be like, yeah, here you go. Here's my report. You know, without. But if you think about it, the library is basically the same thing. You just got to try to
Find the book.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. It's just faster that way.
It's you. The library is the same thing. It's just that you have to be the Google,
Yeah, exactly.
whereas Google does.
It's
the
like
Googling.
manual Google.
Yeah, manual Google.
Yeah, manual Google. That's what it is. Yeah. And it's like, well, it's not much different. You're just doing it in your own home.
Yeah.
Exactly. On your computer, right there. All the information's there.
So does that mean you're not scared of AI, or you support?
Okay. I will say this though. One of the guests I had on my show, his name is Lil One the Champ. He's a rapper from Louisiana, and we had a great conversation. And then I said to him straight out, I said, if you want me to do some voice, because I do voice acting as well. So
I can tell. That's immediate. When you started talking, I was like, God damn, this boy is eloquent. His enunciation is so precise.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
You are right up there as probably the second guest that has the most eloquent voice that I've had on my podcast. The first one is DJ Perry,
Oh wow.
but she works actually in TV. So,
Okay, well that's different then. There you go.
so you're a voice actor as well. Is there
Yeah.
anything you don't do?
I do not dance. I mean, I'm working on it. I mean, I can only do like little kind of pop.
You know. Welcome to the dance hour.
Hey, of the terrible dancing of Martin Labad. Allow me to give you an example of my horrible improvisation of dancing.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but that's all I got. It's a start, but that's all I got.
Baby steps.
Baby
or
steps. That's right.
Baby waves.
Baby waves. That's exactly right.
Bum, bum.
There you go. That's. You knew what that one does. You knew what that one was.
Yeah, what does this one do?
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, when just fucking tangent.
There
We
you
need
go.
to-
But
we need
see-
to like wind it back. What were you were saying about that rapper?
Oh yes, that's right. So yeah, Lil One the Champ. He was on my show. We had a great conversation. I said to him,
Oh, AI.
"That's right, yeah." And I said, if you want me to do some voice acting for you, like voiceovers, you know,
Yeah.
let me know. I'm happy to help you out.
Yeah.
He said to me, "I'm gonna hold you to that." And he goes, "Okay, cool." I said, "All right, cool." While I'm at work, I got a call from him, Instagram call, and he says, "Hey man, I want you to do a voiceover for me, and you know, this is for a company that we're doing the introducing. It's like a hotel kind of real estate kind of hotel kind of place."
Yeah.
I said, "All right, yeah, cool. Just give me kind of like the script and how you want it, and the tone that you want, like the tone of voice that you want, and I'll do the rest. Simple. I'm very simple." And he's like, "Yeah, sure. Here's the script." He gives me that, and I do it. Sent it back to him, and I mean, he didn't reach back for a while because he's a rapper as well, so he does, and also his wife is also who does media side of things as well.
Yeah.
And obviously him being a family man as well, so it's it's a lot of business, which I can respect. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have that expectation. You know, it's for him to get out of his way, and then when that video came out, it wasn't my voice. It was obviously AI. And then I said to him, and I said, you know, you didn't like, were you happy with the thing? Like, there was no communications. I was just a little confused. And he's like, no, it was all good. No, your voiceover was amazing. It's just that when we sent them to the people, they didn't want to pay you, because he asked me, like, you know, how much do you charge? And I said at the time, like, I was like, I don't know. I didn't have it at the top of my head because I didn't have my numbers at home, so that's why I was like, no, I wouldn't know. I have to have a look. He goes, all right, cool, let me know, blah blah blah. And then and he came back to me after when it was posted. He said that they wanted to go AI, and I said, I'm like, all right, damn. So I can understand why a lot of people have the frustration of AI, where it can take people's jobs in that sense. But I mean, but you can also use it to make your life easier as well. Like if you're
Yeah.
if you're a rapper or you're an artist or whatever, you're trying to if you're trying to songwrite and you're trying to get this line or the bar, whatever it is, you can use AI to help you with that, and then yeah, like sometimes it might help you, sometimes it won't,
Mm.
but I think it all comes down to anything new that comes out into the world that's going to change the world. If it falls into the right hands, it's going to be used correctly. If it falls in the wrong hands, it's going to be used incorrectly. It's always been that way. Even with social media,
always been that way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah, even social media when it came out, like
Hmm.
when we had MySpace, good old MySpace, right?
Oh,
That was the beginning of the end, by the way.
I'm safe to say I never had a MySpace.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember it came out in 2007. Yeah, because I remember I was year 11 to year 12 when that came out. And everyone was jumping on board, and that was the beginning of the end. Because in MySpace back then, you had top friends. So you'd have top friends, and the top friends thing was the thing that destroyed everybody. Just really just be like, oh, I'm not your top friend. I thought it was your best friend. Why aren't I your top friend? That was the beginning of the end. And that's when it created that mentality of stalking. And I tell people all the time, if you have social media, you are a stalker. I don't care how you use it.
Someone's talking from experience.
Yep. Hey, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm a stalker too. So
I was just gonna say,
Yes.
are you talking from having stalkers or being a stalker?
yes.
I like that. I cannot confirm or deny.
Yes, that's your answer. But in saying that, it can. But again, if you have that mentality on the negative side, then you're going to use it negatively.
Yeah, I think though, like, so I agree that there's always going to be people in the world that use it for good or evil. But then I also think if you're that naive to think that it's just going to always be used for good, then you probably shouldn't be on it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be consciously aware that there are bad people in this world that are going to try to use it for bad, and just be aware of it. And when you're aware of it, then you can kind of, I guess, consciously manage yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and
Absolutely.
manage your own expectations around that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because there are a lot of there are benefits of using social media, especially
Absolutely.
if you have a business.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of businesses boomed because it's like, oh, this is our location, this is our video where it is, and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And then a lot of people discovered a lot of businesses and places that they never thought was always there, and they walked past it, and they realized, oh, I found this on social media. I'm like, oh my god, I walk past this place all the time. I never see this place. You hear that type of stuff. So again, it's how you use it. Especially when you're trying to be on the creative side as well, it has its benefits too. When you're trying to reach, especially overseas, because I've through my 5 years of doing my show, this is going on to my 6th, where you can actually build connections very easily, especially in America, because they love Australia, they love us, right? But because of their accents and stuff, right? However, I never wanted to rely on the accent so much. I wanted that to be the cherry on the top. So I said to myself, when I was going my own way, I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? I need to talk to people. I need to get myself out there. And I remember I thought to myself, you know what? Let's join on some lives. Let's kind of get myself out there that way. Strangers, they've never seen me before, right? But as soon as I say to them, showing love for Melbourne, Australia, they get excited. They love that. They love Australia so much. They kind of...
Oh, my God. Melbourne, Australia. How are you?
How are you, mate?
Yeah, mate. Sorry,
it sounds cringy.
That was my
Is it
really
weird?
bad American accent.
I want y'all to let me know in the comments as well. Is it cringy for an American to say mate? I want to know this. Like, I don't know. I feel like it is, but it's not their fault. It's not their fault.
Why?
I don't know, because they're trying to communicate how we say mate, and
Oh, because I put that extra bit of twang in it.
Yeah. And then when they say it, it just doesn't sound right.
Okay, man.
Okay, mates. Yeah. Ugh. I don't know. It just sounds cringy to me. I don't know. It's not your fault, Americans. It's not your fault.
Nah,
Anyway,
it's definitely not your fault, and
Yeah.
we just need to fucking get over it.
that's true.
You fucking bag of Sheilas.
Oh, we don't say shrimp on the Barbie, by the way.
No,
No. But yeah, so then then they allow me to
we say shrimp on the barbecue.
exactly. That's right. Barbecue. The Q was very important. So when I joined on the live, was when I joined on the live, and because before I joined, I kind of watch them kind of interact with each other,
Yeah.
and they kind of like talk over each other and stuff like that to try to get to the point.
Yeah, they're very much like that.
Yeah. And then, but as soon as I start talking, they're just dead silent. They don't talk over me. They don't do any of that unless they have a question. Other than that, they're just kind of like intoxicated a little bit. They have that intoxicated look on their face.
It's because they're dripping,
Yeah.
wanting to listen to the Martin.
Oh well. Hey.
Mate, I've been sitting here looking at you going, mate, do you know who your doppelganger is?
Well, being a Middle Eastern, I have many doppelgangers, to be honest. I don't care what anybody says. Arabs look alike. Why do you think... This is the thing. This is the issue that Arabs have is that...
Fuck.
This is the issue that Arabs have. Like, Arabs look at other Arabs like they've never seen Arabs before. You go... Yeah. Yes. My Arabs
That
will know...
they've never seen an Arab before.
Because they can't tell if they are related to them or not. Because you go to any Arab districts, they look exactly the same. Same haircut. I look like if DJ Khaled and Drake had a child. That's what I look like.
Yeah, I was just going to
Right?
say DJ Khaled.
Yeah. But with Drake that had a child. But yeah. Anyway. And so yeah, they'd be looking at me like they had this look on their face. So this is no word of a lie, Alex. It's like
Hang on, did you just do a foobar then? Did you just call me Alex?
it's Alex, isn't it?
No, it's Andrew.
Oh shit. Andrew, that one.
You just joined Andrew and Felix together. And
Andrew
they
Felix.
called me
That's the one,
Alex.
yeah. I don't know where the hell I got Alex from.
You know what? Everybody does it. That's fine.
Do they?
Yeah.
No, I fused Andrew and Felix together.
Yeah,
That's what I did.
yeah, that's
I just
exactly-
realized what I just
yeah.
did. My apologies, sir.
Your
My
brain,
apologies.
your brain went full Australian and went, let's shorten everything.
Yeah, let's shorten
Alex.
everything. Yeah, exactly right.
I've been called Adrian before.
Adrian.
Yeah, I'm like, how the fuck did you get Adrian?
I've been called Daniel once.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how the hell I look like a Daniel, but okay.
DJ Khalid, Daniel
Daniel.
Johnson Khalid.
Could be. Could be.
Mm.
That could be one of my aliases. I can have an alias name. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, back to Arabs thinking you all look the same.
Yeah, because I would go to like Arab districts and stuff like that, even Arab restaurants, and then as soon as someone walks through the door, they want to know who walks in, and if it's another Arab, they just need to know. Like, they look like meerkats when they look at the other thing. There's like, yeah, but just one direction for where the entrance
Yeah.
is, and I'm like, what the hell are y'all looking at? Like,
Because I want to know if you're...
if I'm related to you, if
Yeah.
I'm Muhammad or
Is
Ahmed.
do you think it's because it's all of the same gene pool?
Could be. It could be that. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
Or
and it's
like,
just-
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, I try not to think about it too much or else my brain will hurt. All I know is that they just look at you like they don't know if they're related to you or if it's a cousin or an uncle. They don't
Yeah.
know. But then, yeah, I'm just like, no, I'm not.
They're probably doing that because they're fearful of wanting to jump your bones and make 3-headed babies.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Mm.
Yeah. You know about that too, huh?
No. That was just something my brain Googled.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I see what you did. I see what you did. Love it.
So you're not scared of AI?
No,
You think it's something that's good?
especially when it comes to politics in general.
Yeah.
I've always been seen as the middleman,
Yeah.
where I want to understand both sides.
Yeah.
And
I just try to understand as well. Like,
Yeah,
let's just
it's-
understand.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why I've always tried to step away from politics because it's like you have to choose.
Yeah.
It's like you either, well, for example, in the politics in Australia, you're either Labor or you're Liberal, right? You have to choose a side. You can't be anything else.
Yeah.
Or if you come up with your own one yourself, you have to be that.
I think it is going to get to a point like how Joe Rogan says on his podcast where there's the government AI
Yeah,
and they're the ones that's the AI, the ultimate AI that's going to govern like
everything.
everything that's right or wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And then again, just backtracking a little bit about multiverses and timelines.
Yes.
He has also said
Mm-hmm.
there were two key moments where we swapped timelines. The first moment was when Elon bought Twitter, and the second moment was when Trump got shot in the ear.
Yeah.
There were the two pinnacle moments, and then everything started to change.
Yeah. I believe that. Yeah, I believe that because
And I'm not into politics either. I just think it's interesting, like listening to everything and hearing everything. And who would have thought, like 6 years ago, the president and CEO of the UFC would be standing up there with the president of the United States?
Yeah. You never see it.
And the #1 podcaster in the world.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You never see that. Not 6 years ago. You never would have saw that.
Yeah.
Never. But then now it's just kind of like, okay, why not?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a why not thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, we'll have a president here. We have a bigger podcaster of the world. Yeah, why not? You know?
I think it does mean that there's still this like massive shift, and that they're just like evidence points of that shift gaining more traction to move.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like we did shift to one side way too much.
Yeah.
And now we're coming back. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's kind of going like this in a way. We're going back and forth. Like we're not going to sit still in one moment because anything can happen in between.
Yeah.
That will make us go back.
Yeah.
And then something will happen in between to make us go forward again, and then back, and then forward. It's like a scale in a way. You know, it's going like this all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, but again, at least as long as we get to live in some way, that's what I'm happy about. To be honest.
Have you ever wanted to live overseas?
Yes, I've wanted to live overseas, but I mean, I know that.
What was her name? Sorry, I assumed. What was their name?
Oh, bad. But when I get a text back, I'll let you know. But
What was my saying? I choose to neither confirm or deny.
Yes. But yeah, no, I've wanted to live overseas. I've wanted to live in Egypt. I wanted to live
I
alongside.
fucking want to go to Egypt.
I'll be going in October.
Bro, you know there's a lot of. Are you a conspiracy theorist?
I would
do you
say
follow the conspiracies?
I appreciate it. Like there's always, because I've always felt that there's more to the world.
there's so much more.
There's so much more. Absolutely, I
How the fuck
definitely
did
agree.
the pyramids get there?
Aliens apparently.
These like giant humans move these rocks.
Yeah. Well,
Bro. Where are their bones?
Exactly. Oh man, but I've always said this to people. I said I've come to the conclusion that we will never know until we have to physically have the ability. Sorry, we have to have the ability to physically go back in time and see it for ourselves. Because I believe that everything is a guess. Because in Egypt, for example, in Egypt's case, because when the Arabs took over in 660 AD, because when you try to take over a country or a land or whatever it is, naturally you'd want to destroy the history and stuff like that to make it look like you were there the whole time, right? So my biggest question is, how do we not know that when the Arabs took over in 660 AD, they destroyed pieces of the history during
Dead
that?
Sea Scrolls.
That's right. And be like, oh no, and then someone had to stop them and be like, no, we need this history because that way we can use that as our history, and then to continue that. You know, they could have destroyed something that's very important that could be in addition to whatever it is they're trying to discover.
I'm gonna fuck this right up, but wasn't there a thing around like how old are the Dead Sea Scrolls? It's like I don't know, 400 BC or something. I really have no idea.
Yeah.
But then, when did we actually start using like literature?
Yeah. It is an interesting point. It is an interesting
Like,
question.
how did they come up with literature all the way
Yeah.
back then?
Yeah,
And
it's-
then it disappeared,
Yeah, exactly.
and now it's come back.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's especially when it comes to, well, as you said, like with paper and obviously
Yeah.
alphabet and language and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know, there's millions of unanswered questions
Yeah.
that they're still trying to discover. But then goes back to my point of that could have been destroyed in that process,
Yeah.
and that those pieces could have been the answer to that puzzle. And now, to me, I just feel like we're never going to get that answer. Never.
So how do you think the pyramids were made?
I would say we had our little help. But
Slavery.
I don't want to. You
Holy
said it.
shit.
You said it, not me.
Holy shit.
You said it, not
we
me.
enslaved the 7 foot tall giants. Because, of course, they were less stronger than us.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one. But no, I mean, I'll be honest. I wish I had an answer for that, but I don't.
Aliens?
Sure. No, they say aliens when they don't have the actual answer.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I don't know why they would just rely on aliens. And then they're like, oh, there's scientific proof that there was a ship underneath the pyramids. I'm like, no, it can't be. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And then it makes no sense that these structures are there and everything else has been decimated into sand except for these structures.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
Yeah, even when Napoleon tried to take over Egypt as well, and then he tried to attack the Sphinx, and with the full force of his army could, they only just got rid of the nose. Like, yeah. Imagine you have a whole army of people trying to destroy your house, and all they did is just break your window, basically.
it's a titanium house.
Yeah, exactly. Adamantium house.
Is that how much protection you have to have on your house living on the west side?
No, not really. No. I mean, it's improved a lot. I will say, like, it has improved a lot over the years.
You know,
yeah.
with the fact that we've already identified your doppelganger,
Yes.
you know, you'd be walking around and people would be like, DJ Khaled's in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have to
It's in the
kind of
suburb.
put the voice on too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you smart.
Oh!
You you I was waiting for you to press the button. Okay. It's like, you smart. I believe in you.
Oh,
We
yeah.
the best.
You even did the lip thing.
Yeah, I know. That's how. Yeah, because I did like
Are you big on Snapchat?
honestly no. Because if I do, I'll get addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get addicted.
Yeah. Absolutely, that too. But no, I used to do like impersonations and stuff like that, like in high school and throughout most of my 20s as well. I had to kind of calm that down because I kind of did that to the wrong people again to be liked, and then I had to kind of step away from that. And
Did you charge?
No.
Oh, you should have.
Well, I know, right?
You probably could.
I
again.
could have. Yeah, I can. I even did a video. I think it was like 10 years ago now. It would have been 10 years ago that I actually did a video of all the impersonations that I can do. I ended up getting like about eight.
Hang on. What do you mean? All the impersonations?
So
How many more
ones that I've got,
impersonations?
the ones that I've got.
in your repertoire?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Well, it depends on what you want. Like, because I've got Family Guy. I've got Family Guy. I've got Dragon Ball Z. I've got
Family Guy.
Okay. All right. Somehow I knew this was going to come up eventually. I knew it. But then again, I did it to myself. All right. Now.
Sure.
Like, Brian, your fur is so soft. Oh, your ears are like dog ears. How was that bad? How was that bad? So now you playing right now. Now you just playing.
You know what's really funny?
What's up?
If I don't include the sound file in the editing and production,
Uh-huh.
the podcast will just be us laughing to nothing.
I see. Right.
I did a podcast with 3 of my mates here.
Yeah.
And, you know, produced it, upload. A couple of days later, I get this phone call from my mate who was on the podcast. He goes, hey, what's happening at like the hour and 13-minute mark? And I'm like, I don't know, what? He goes, we just seem to laugh for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And then you looked back and then like nothing was happening. And like, and
yeah,
then you're like, hang on, wait, where's
except
the
for me, like,
like pressing buttons?
yeah.
But like, where was the effects?
Yeah. It's very
Wow.
funny. I've done it a couple of times where I've just forgotten, and I'm like,
Oops.
But no, the impersonations are good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was Peter. You also have Stewie as well. It's like Ryan, hold on, I'll be right with you, Mr. Duckford. Ryan, I'm just thinking, let's order a kebab, a kebab. But I wanted this order: vegetable, meat, vegetable, meat. And Mr. Duckford would like some quackers.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
When did you realize that you could do these things?
This was I was actually 7. Yeah, I was 7 years old.
Wow.
I was watching Cow and Chicken. I don't know if you know that cartoon.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Oh man. Cow and Chicken, my 90s kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hang on, is it cow and chicken, or is
Yes.
it cow and chicken?
No, it's Cow and Chicken.
Cow and
Yeah,
chicken.
there's 2, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cow and Chicken, yeah.
So it was a cow and then
Uh-huh.
it was a chicken.
Mama had a chicken, Mama had a cow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cartoon logic. Cartoon logic. But there was a specific character known as the red guy.
Oh my god. So there's a cow and a chicken and a red guy.
Yeah, well, he's not in the title. He's just a side character.
Oh.
He's a side character, that's why.
He's a side piece for the mum.
Basically, yeah. But he's one of those characters.
Of course he had to be red,
Well, yeah. He's one of those characters that
not purple.
No, they just chose red. I don't know, because he looks like the devil. So he's got the horns and little tail, but he had a booty, like he had a booty ass,
Right.
right? You know that a neon light with the girl booty. It's kind of like that.
Ah.
Yeah, but a bit more thicker. And so he would be one of those characters that makes the show. He was
Right.
one of those characters, right? And me being 7 years old, I didn't understand him being so flamboyant. So like I would just copy what he does, and then the voices as well, because I used to watch Ed, Edd and Eddy. I don't know. I just kind of mimicked it in my head. I don't know why. It's just my brain was just like, yeah, like copy this. I'm like, okay, and then but then I would listen to the tone of the voice on how it would work out, and then it would just register in my head, and then bam, it would just come to me. Even with Family Guy, with another example, like even obviously I was able to get Peter right, Stewie right. Even if you're familiar with Herbert, he's the
No.
creepy old man,
Oh yeah.
the one that loves
okay.
Chris.
Yeah.
The one that sounds like this. Mm. Yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah, and then like when
Bro,
you
you are a man of many talents. Fuck school. Don't go to school. Stay home, watch cartoons and mimic their characters.
basically, yeah, that's basically that
You
in a
can be-
nutshell.
You can be as successful as Martin. Sure. I'm going to put that up.
Please, you know, I want that as the
thumbnail.
Yes, the thumbnail. Please have that as a thumbnail. That'd be great. But yeah, so the voices itself, like it just if it worked, it worked. It didn't, it didn't.
Yeah.
You know, and even like in taste in music as well. Like if it hit my ear right, I would want it. If it didn't, then no. So it's either black and white with me when it comes to either cartoons, movies, or anything like that. But and yeah, it would just register in my head, and then something when if it comes out just almost perfect. Like obviously you can still hear my voice in between, but it would just be like, because when it comes to an impersonation, it's not just the voice, it's also the body language as well. You got to try to bring that character out from you. You know what I mean? Like if someone does an impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example, right? Because I couldn't do that for a long time.
Get in the chopper.
No, you see, this is exactly what happened when you go to the chopper because you have to be ready any time when you get out of the chopper, you have to be ready. So when you get to the chopper, yeah, please press the right one. Please press the right. Yay! That's the one. That one. Yeah. So yeah, it's the body language, and you got to try to talk, but it's all about the listening part. Once you get the listening bit, and for a long time I couldn't get it right, but then when I used to watch a show called The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, his skeleton guy Jeff, oh man, I forgot the guy's name. He did an impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger, exactly how I just did it, and that's why I would listen, and then I tried it out. I'm like, yes, there it is. Like that is the Arnold Schwarzenegger right there. You have to understand that there's a difference between doing the voice and actually being Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes.
If I close my eyes,
If you close your eyes, you definitely see the governor.
we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger on the podcast. I can't believe it, everybody.
Yes, maybe you should do a little interview with me because I used to be the governor. I used to be the governor and also the Terminator.
We could totally hoodwinkle the Spotify listeners.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, boy.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you do Mark Wahlberg?
No.
Oh,
No, I wish.
Damn,
I
that
would.
that
No,
would be so funny.
if I can do, but if I can do, man,
Can
God
you
himself.
do Arnold Schwarzenegger talking with somebody else?
I can do Arnold Schwarzenegger probably talking to
Family Guy.
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yeah, go.
Hello, Sly. How are you? Well, I'm all right. I'm doing there. What do you want? No, I'm just trying to tell you that I made a very good movie, and my knife is bigger than yours. So fuck you. You cannot stop me. Well, fuck you too. I got a bigger knife. I got my Rambo movie. What are you talking about? Sly, shut the fuck up. Fuck you. I'm better than you. I was governor. You were just a boxer. Ah.
You should totally just do a podcast of you talking to yourself like that.
Mate, I do it 24/7. What you talking about?
Mate, it'd be so hard.
I do that shit 24/7.
How did you, because you do your podcast on Instagram and
Yes.
you mentioned to me that
Mhm.
you just do it off your phone and stuff
Yes.
like that. How did you go about starting off?
Well, so when I used to do my show through a media organization, I actually it's exactly how I met Rick Fiend when you had him here.
Yeah.
That's where I met him.
Right.
So I've known Rick Fiend since 2019. Yeah,
He's a fucking cool guy.
man, that's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy, bro. Have you ever watched him perform?
Yeah.
You've watched him perform?
Yeah.
Man, every time, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm kind of like a hype man for him. Every time I go there, I'm like, whoa, yeah. I've lost my voice once trying to hype this man up.
Jesus.
For real,
Christ.
though. This man, shout out to Rick Fiend, bro. I mean, yeah.
Total
bro.
shout out to Rick Fiend.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, he's one of the talented ones.
Mm.
He really is. You can really feel the love, the music that he has. You can really feel
right?
it. Yeah, very passionate man. And
Such a story as well, how he came about.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but I mean, because him and I, we have conversations as well when we see each other.
Yeah.
And then I try to motivate him and just be like, bro, just keep going, because I do quotes as well. I've done quotes. I don't know if you've stalked my Instagram.
No, I don't do any research
Okay.
at all. I've been caught out a couple of times, but fuck it.
That's okay. Well, I'll be honest. I don't do much research with my guests on my show either, because to me, I rather create the authentic conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly what we're doing.
Like the authentic reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to have a conversation with you on a human level.
Yes.
Not having this preconceived idea that you came second on The Voice
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
or second on Australian Idol.
Yeah, I know.
And I've had both of those situations come up and
Really?
I had no idea.
Oh, no way.
I
Damn.
was like, because I knew, so the first one was, oh my God, I can't remember his name. Brandon from
Okay.
Sisters Doll.
Okay.
WA band, Bunbury, he was in his band. He's in his band with, he was in his band originally with his two brothers because they were waiting for the fourth brother to get of age, and
Mm.
then they got of age, and they were touring, they're playing in like WA, and then they came over to Victoria,
Mhm.
and then toured a little bit, then did the TV thing. I was like, oh, TV thing, yeah, that's cool. Like, like how was it?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, it was all right. It's a bit of hustle bustle, all this. I
Mm.
was like, oh, which TV show?
Mm.
He's like, oh, The Voice.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, where did you place?
Yeah.
Oh, we came second.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I was like, oh shit, sorry, I didn't even know.
Yeah. Nice. But I mean, but for me again, like I think that's where that. But again, like I think having a podcast, or even if you choose to do an interview show in some way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
it's just you make it just a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Make it a bonding, because we're already divided as it is because of politics
that's
and
exactly
religion and
right.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you really just have to make the guest feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I always do that with my show, as much as I do it through Instagram Live. So I'm not anywhere near them. I do see them. But if you can make the guest feel comfortable, like even with this, like that's, bro, you're already on your way.
Yeah.
They can open up to you. They can trust you.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? It doesn't feel pressure, because podcasts are now a thing, right? It's a big thing. But you also have the people that do it the wrong way. Again, going back to what we were saying, the big thing changing the world with podcasts as well. It's a part of the world changing. There are people going to use it in a bad way, where they're going to treat it like it's a TV thing, where it's like, say, if you're a famous photographer, you've been on the red carpet, you've photo shooted a lot of people, but then they try to get from you, the negatives and stuff like that, but for their benefit. So for their ratings as well, where it's like, to be honest, there are podcasts that do that, right? But again, that's just their gimmick, right? But for me, I said to myself, no, I don't want that. I just want to make them feel comfortable. I want to understand their creative side. I want to pick their brain on how they get out of the norm of the typical 9 to 5. How do they beat the negatives? How do they get out of their environment of whether it's domestic abuse, violence, or even possibly rape as well, which does happen. I want to know how they got out of that. That's what I want to hear, because I'm going to say this to everyone right now. Because this is very important, is that how you were raised is not your fault. How you were raised.
I fucking tried to course correct then. Real quick.
But yeah, how you were raised is not your fault.
No, I think that's so true.
Because it's bad enough that we're responsible for dealing with the traumas that we didn't start.
But you also don't have to feel bad about how you were raised.
Of course. Because
right.
it's a construction of who you are. It constructs you. But in saying that, it's either your excuse or your motivation.
It was your experience, but it doesn't define you.
No.
The things that you do today are the things that define you.
Absolutely.
It's like other people's reactions don't define you. It's what you do about it. Like, you can choose to either take that on or not take it on and just move on, Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's either your excuse or your motivation.
It is so hard though.
It is.
Right? So holy shit, I think I'm actually just going to shoot myself in the foot here. But
that's all right.
Because I was going to say, so I grew up overseas and I moved around a lot. And I actually credit the way that I am today with the fact that I moved around a lot. And I can talk to anybody. And I can have a conversation with old people, young people, kids, adults, whoever, right? All walks of life, which I think is why I somehow fell into doing podcasts. Does that define me? No. It just gives me the skills to be who I am today.
And who you want to be.
And who I want to be. What I have found though is that people who've lived in the same city, had the same friends, you know, same associations, like they just don't have the same skills because they've been associated and been around the same environment, you know, like so does that define you? Well, I don't necessarily think it defines you, but it's what you do about it. And if you choose not to do anything, then that's your choice.
Yeah, there's no growth.
Yeah.
There's no character.
That's it. That's another topic.
Yeah.
Growth and character.
Yeah,
Growth is important
absolutely.
because if we are not pushing ourselves forward
Mm-hmm.
and improving in the way that we live, either internally in our immediate circle or externally in our environment, like how can we be certain for survival?
Yeah, or even
You
be
know?
better versions of ourselves,
Yeah.
which is another question. Because I think, because going back to what I was saying before, because I do quotes. There's one that I made recently is that you have to keep going in order to keep growing. And you have to keep going, like you do, because I've had a lot of
Where are you going?
where are we going?
Where are you growing to?
Where are you going? Where are you growing to? Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's that. I love that. I love that.
I'll send you the invoice.
Yeah. We're following my invoice. But yeah, look, because I remember there was an artist that came to me and he's like, "Oh, Labzy, bro, I'll release a new song. You got to let me know what you think." Blah blah blah. I said, "I'll stop you right there." I said, "If you rely on other people, you're never gonna be authentically yourself."
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Because again, going back to what I was saying before about how there's millions of personalities out there, meaning millions of opinions. You can't rely on any of them. You've got to learn to trust yourself, because there's going to be a moment where you are going to go back to your old stuff and be like, say if you're a rapper, right? And then you look at the lyrics that you wrote back then, you'll have this cringe look on your face, like, why did I write this? Why did I say it like that? I should have said this or that. But back then, you would have thought that was the most amazing thing you've. Even photography, for example, right? Have you ever looked at your early work?
Yeah.
And you looked to yourself, why the hell did I just use this filter? Why didn't I use?
Yeah.
Why didn't I use the black and white
I
on
used
this?
to think I was king shit.
Yeah,
I was like, I was so good because I
Yeah.
worked it out.
exactly.
I'm like, damn, boy.
Yeah, but then back then, hey, yay!
That's me giving crickets to myself.
But again, back then you would have thought it was the most amazing thing you ever did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then why would you rely on other people's opinion then?
I think that shit's inbuilt in our brain.
Yeah.
It's inbuilt in our DNA because back in hunter and gatherer days, if we didn't fit in with the clan
Or the tribe.
or the tribe,
Yeah.
we got exiled to be on our own, and
Yeah.
it then meant we died.
Yeah.
So there's always this constant need to be a part of something,
Yeah.
you know, either your immediate family or the family that you're building or a community or whatever, or like to seek that validation from like other people, you know. And so it's hard because I think we're like intrinsically fighting against our own DNA
Yeah.
to go, you know what? Oh, just be authentically yourself. Well,
yeah.
what is that?
Yeah.
How can I be authentically myself when I got fucking imposter syndrome?
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to trick myself into thinking I'm authentic, which is exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Like in my 20s.
Yeah.
I was like, because prior to me turning 18, I was a completely different person. Imagine the complete opposite, right?
Yeah, I feel
then,
that.
And then something happened when I was 18 with my dad, and I was like, fuck this shit. I'm just going to be who I want to be.
Yeah.
And what I ended up doing was I looked at people that either I looked up to or, you know, that I could see like in the media or whatever. I'm like, oh, I like that part about them, or I like this part about them. And I just like merged it all together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then in my late 20s, I was kind of like, am I actually this person
Yeah.
or what, you know?
Yeah.
But then in your 30s and your 40s, you kind of like, okay, yeah, like this is actually me.
Yeah.
This is actually me now.
Yeah,
Like
I
I've
feel that.
gone through that. you
Yeah,
know?
I feel that because even when I was younger as well, like I did it all as well. Like I changed my hair, I changed my clothes, I tried to, as you said, be part of a tribe.
Yeah.
In a way. But then I remember I was in the shopping center and I took a good look at it in the mirror with a reflection of myself, and I'm like, oh, this isn't me. I don't feel me. You know, I feel like again, I'm just trying to. I'm sheep. I feel like I'm like everyone else with the hair and the clothes and
Yeah.
everything like that. You know, and it's just like no, I just don't feel me.
Yeah.
And then I wonder why. Like if I will get depressed or whatever, it's because I don't feel. I feel trapped in insecurity. And it's just, and then that's when I finally made the decision. I'm like, no, I'm going my own way. Shaving my head, basically looking like this, and yeah, and rock with it, really. And then that's it. Nowadays, especially turning 30, that made me feel so free. I felt so free. Cat, and
Yes.
cat.
Cat.
A cat has just entered the thing. That's why I said cat.
Youngest cat.
It's not like a disability thing where I turn around and say cat.
He's got cat Tourette's.
The cat Tourette's. Cat. Meow.
Meow. Just so happens my last name is
Yeah.
Felix. And it's not Alex.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so next question.
Yes.
Did you already predict the question and you answered it?
What?
Yes.
Yes.
No, the next
I needed an answer. I needed to get an answer out, and I just said yes. The first thing came to my head. Like yes, yes.
Who inspires you? Don't say DJ Khaled.
No, dear God, no. He's on my shit list at the moment. Who inspires me? It is an interesting one because I would say myself. I inspire myself, as really crazy and really weird as that might sound, because
It actually doesn't sound that weird.
really,
Yeah.
okay,
So sorry, continue.
Okay.
And then I'll explain.
yeah, sure, all good. And I think because I'm on the religious side, because I'm Catholic myself,
Oh,
right? And
Condolences.
what?
No, I'm kidding.
Condolences to what? What do you mean?
Nothing. No.
You got me off guard with that one. I'm like condolences to what though?
Oh my god!
Oh man, that's hilarious.
I'm glad to make you laugh.
Thank you.
That's
No,
my
I love
that's
it.
my
I love
purpose.
it. I love it. So yeah, me being on the religious side, I've really built a relationship with God, and I have really just understood that, you know, if you wake up in the morning, you are blessed, and you look around, and I look around where as soon as I wake up, I look around and I said, if I feel safe here, then I know I'm blessed. And I do feel blessed. I do feel blessed being in a house. You know, I can get food anytime I want. I can go be healthy, go to the gym anytime I want, go for walks anytime I want. You know, I'm able to make money. You know, these types of things, and realizing that I'm rich in that sense. And also, for the most important, I've also said this to a lot of people as well, that is my soul full? And if my soul is full, then then that's the definition of wealth. It's real wealth. Real wealth is determined on how full the soul is.
Shit, that needs to be on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, it's one of my quotes anyway, so yeah. And so I take the blessings, I take the small things and treat it like they're the big blessings. And I've practiced that because I always look at you know, overseas like poor people and stuff like that, third world countries and stuff like that. And I think to myself, I'm like, well, I know I can't help them. I know I won't be able, but all I can do is appreciate what I have and understand that when my parents moved from Egypt to Australia because of the religious war between Catholics and Muslims, they know that I'm in a better life already, and I'm blessed right there. And again, I take that as a big blessing, and I also have the ability to create as well. And to me, that's the definition of inspiration. Having the ability to just do whatever it is that you want anytime you want, but not take advantage.
Yeah, to be able to have the freedom,
It's
right?
the freedom. Yeah, exactly.
I think so. The reason I said that it's not weird is because you come across as someone who's really very self-aware, and you appear to like just the way that you talk, and like I can kind of like get this sense that there's a lot of self-reflection there on, you know, like your past experiences and like trying to understand things and all this type of stuff. And so to say that you inspire yourself, I don't think it's a weird thing.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you,
like
sir.
I think it's just a reflection of who you are. You know, if more people could do that, then that would be great.
Absolutely.
You know,
And I encourage that. I encouraged it for a lot of people to really just, be inspired by themselves, because I see a lot of creatives that feel like they have this moment where, they should be over there and they're all the way over here. And they just feel like they are working, but it feels like it's not getting anywhere. It's like them running on a treadmill. That's how that's the mentality. But then I would tell them, I'm like, well, hold on a second. Why don't you actually look at all the accomplishments that you've done and what you did to get those accomplishments? And I see so many artists that are so talented and have the potential to basically take over the world, really, if they wanted to. But they just hold themselves back. And it feels like, they need to wait for the inspiration, or they need to find the inspiration somewhere. And it's like, no, it's in you. The inspiration is from you. You're the one that did this. You're the one that did you did the work. Same thing as when you if you lose weight, right? Because I lost weight. I lost 15 kilos in 4 months last year. Right?
Congratulations.
Thank you. And when I made the post of I did like a split thing where I was the fat one and better looking one.
Yeah.
and then I had a friend from LA.
I think they're called progress photos.
Yes, progress photos. That's the one. I had it in my head, but it kind of buffered. But then as soon as you said it, it just that's the one. Yeah. See, you didn't have a button for that. But there, that's the one. There you go. That'll do. That
Nice joke, DJ Khalid.
Another one. But I had a friend who's a personal trainer in Hollywood, which was on my show as well.
Yeah.
And he said to me, man, look at the transformation. Like, he was praising me. And then I said, because I was talking to him about, some advice and so this type of thing.
Yeah.
And I said to him, thank you for your help as well. He said, "No, bro, don't thank me. You're the one that did the hard work. You're the one that, you're the one that decided to make that change."
Yeah.
And then that's when it made me realize that I'm like, well, that's inspiration right there. It's through yourself. It's you.
Yeah.
And if you should be more inspired with yourself, especially be proud of what you do.
Yeah. If you feel like you're on the fucking treadmill, get off the treadmill.
Exactly. That's right.
And fucking do something about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like, I know it's probably a really harsh thing to say, but I think it's like you're on the treadmill because you're doing the same things and expecting a different outcome. You got to change things to get a different outcome.
That's right.
You got to change who you are to evolve to get a different outcome.
Exactly.
Like, I'm all for self-improvement and putting hard work in, but if you're not like strategically making sure that you're changing things up a little bit, like you're not really going to get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly right. And then
Which is interesting because with my photography side of things, like doing the interviews and then doing the podcast, like I've just been able to like progress.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you know,
like nuts. Yeah, because you've already built. I think you've already built like the audience already. You've already built the connections. And as soon as you say, "Hey, I'm doing a podcast," they're going to want to get involved.
yeah,
Because now it's kind of like you've amplified the moment of you doing interviews. Now it's being amplified to a podcast, and people would want to get interested and to watch that.
yeah,
So,
yeah. What advice would you give your younger self?
The advice I would give to my younger self is just to have faith and keep going. That's all.
That's fucking hard.
I know. It's hard, but you'll get there. Absolutely.
Young Khalid doesn't want to do that. He hasn't reached DJ status yet.
No,
Young
he's
Khalid.
just Khaled, not DJ yet.
Yeah.
He hasn't got that spot yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say just have faith and keep going.
Right.
Because
Why that?
Because eventually things will turn around.
Do you feel like you were a young person that felt like you were on a treadmill?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna get.
Did you see what I did there?
Yes, I like that. But this is gonna. Fuck. Please learn your buttons.
Fuck no. I will not read instructions. I will not read the screen. It's just, shotgun.
Shotgun improvisation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I will. This part is gonna go into on the dark side, deep hole kind
Let's
of.
go.
Yep.
Wormhole.
You ready?
Boom.
All right. So because obviously when I didn't finish school, I was obviously working at Domino's Pizza, which was my first job. And between 2009 and 2012 would have to be the worst years of my life.
Why?
Because picture this. The start of 2009 was obviously the year when obviously everyone finished school. One of the boys in the group, he passed away a week before his 18th birthday.
Fuck.
As well as two of my uncles died, one in June in 2009 and the other one in 2011 of cancer. And 2012 was and also I obviously couldn't get into university. I wanted to study Certificate 3 in Media and TV, which I didn't get in as a mature student. I don't know how that's possible. Even with the meetings that we tried to organize to try to get me in, even my dad was willing to pay whatever, but they still said no for some reason. And
Fuck 'em. You don't need 'em.
and also I lost my license and my job the week of my birthday 2 years in a row in 2010 and 2011. So one of them was my 21st birthday, and that would have been the same year. So 2012 was the year that my parents finalized their divorce. All of that in 3 years.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So, and then obviously not working full time as well, and as well as trying to figure it out, trying to just basically. So we'll say between 2012 and 2016, I was very just empty, very empty. I will say this in confidence that I was on suicidal as well. And for the people that are not, for the people that want to know what it's like to be suicidal, it's feeling like you failed. It feels like there's no point of doing anything. Feels like there's no goal to do absolutely anything. Your mind is just negative, it just feels like you don't want to be here. You don't want to be anywhere because it feels like no matter what you do, nothing is ever good enough for anything and anyone. And then this is what I was saying before that I've become very on the religious side is that when I was gonna do it, I would have this belief system. I hear beeping.
Yeah. That's all good.
Okay.
Keep talking. It's not me pushing a button.
Okay. I had this little glimpse of flashes of people that that love me, love and appreciate me, and stuff like that. And that's when I dropped that knife, and that's when I'm like, well, I guess I can't do it. But then I feel so miserable. What do I do? I don't know what to do, because growing up into the church, it just felt like that I was only going because I was told to. I wasn't really educated enough because my parents, their English wasn't really that great. It was only enough for them to get by, but it wasn't to a level of helping me understand. So, and because my dad was very prideful, he always would stop my mum from trying to explain to me or my sister whatever it is, whatever questions we just have to shut up and just go with it. That was his mentality. So, and then so that caused an effect where just like I really wanted to understand like what is my purpose. So that goes back to what my purpose was, and so for 4 years I was getting into trouble, and because this is also another crazy thing is that I lost my license 5 times and I've been on my P's for 11 years. Wasn't anything hooning though. It was all like just speed cameras. That's all it was.
Wasn't hooning. It was you were a drug mule.
See.
See, señorita.
No, but it was actually just speed cameras and geting pulled over. That was for the most part.
That was fucking unlucky.
Yeah, I know. Because I've never done any drugs in my life. Never. Because I knew for a fact that if I did, that would be 1,000 times worse. Because I would look at, I don't want to call them junkies, but you would see junkies like on the road and stuff like that, and they've, act a certain way. They're all
drug
crazy.
addicts.
Yeah, drug addicts. Yeah, right. And I thought to myself, well, if I was doing drugs, I'd
people
be just
under the influence.
under the influence, exactly, yes.
Of society.
And of a substance that will not make you the same person.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would see these people and I'm like, yeah, I know if I did that, I'll be exactly like that. And that is not any better.
Yeah.
Because I had that mentality where I wanted everything, all my problems to just go away right now. I don't want a temporary moment. I don't want a temporary feeling. I want my problems to go away. I want a full-time job so I can get this money and save and build my life.
So what happened though? Like, because what you described there was like 4 years of absolute hell.
Oh yeah.
And like, I'm just thinking of all the different like situations where nothing ever got any better.
Oh yeah, even for a long time.
What do you think? Like, can you pinpoint a certain moment where something changed, or like you had an epiphany, or was it just like over a time period?
I think it was just more of a time period. I think because I do a lot of self-reflection. I've noticed that I said to myself, okay, well, what I'm doing isn't working. What am I doing wrong? And I reflect on what I'm doing wrong. Am I being too much? Am I being too annoying? Am I being, am I always inviting myself to things? Because I don't do that. I don't invite myself to things. If you tell me, hey, Labzy, let's hang out, and I tell it to people all the time, I said, let me know when and where, and I'll be there. Simple. And I am going to make the effort.
You got here 20 minutes early.
Right?
Yeah.
That's an example.
It's good.
Yeah. I don't like being late because I feel like if I'm late, that means I don't care.
It's just tardiness.
Yeah.
Like if you're late.
Look, people have different definitions, of being late. But for me personally, I just feel like if I don't care about something, then it's either
thanks, man. You really cared today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Yeah, hell yeah. And plus this is also an opportunity for me to also get to know another person.
Yeah.
Because every year you meet new people.
Yeah.
So you're one of the new people for me in 2025.
Damn.
Woo!
Hey! Press the right button. Do I get promoted to official button presser? I mean, they are my buttons.
Yes. You can if you want.
No one can press my buttons.
Yeah.
Look, I got a phone here as well.
I saw that
who we gonna
before.
call?
I saw that before. That is a sick thing.
Yeah.
Does it actually work?
It's not plugged in.
Oh, okay. But it works though.
Yeah, it should work. I got two.
Sick.
I got two.
Nice.
I got a white one upstairs for photo shoots.
Oh yeah, for the effect. Yeah, cool. If you ever want to do that, like the 1950s kind of like theme and stuff like that, they use that phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, okay. So it was just like a time period, and then
It
you
was.
kind of like
Yeah.
just push yourself through it.
I had to push myself through it because I knew that I just felt like no one was going to help me. But in saying that, it's one of those things where I realized that I have to do it myself.
What do you mean no one was going to help you? Because did you call Lifeline?
No, I never called Lifeline. I
Never
never called what's the other one?
Men's Help.
Men's Help. Yeah, I never did any of that
Mm.
because they charged. That's why. So I was like, yeah, no. But for me, I just felt like if I did speak up, I was going to get yelled at, get abused, because that was the environment that I was raised in. So that's why I was like, okay, no, I have to keep that to myself. I have to really just, really just figure it out on
That's
my own.
hard, man.
Yeah. It
I'm
is.
sorry you went through that.
No, that's all right. I mean, hey, it shows.
But it takes a lot of courage to be able to talk about it, though.
That's it. I mean, I had the realization. I had the realization. I think it was like maybe a couple of years ago that I now feel that I can talk about my traumas anywhere openly, right? And how and then because of how I see it is, it's my story, and and everyone has a story. Like my traumas may not be the same as your traumas, right? But we should. This is how we come together because, as I was saying before, like we're already divided as it is. So we have to learn to be like, okay, no one is ever going to be perfect. I've got traumas, you've got traumas, and if we come together and obviously, we talk about it, we can learn to understand each other as well as work with each other. That's how we form a proper, real community.
Yeah.
In my honest opinion. So, and then because I did a post recently about, which I pinned on my Instagram. If you guys follow me on my Labzy page, was my personal one, saying that if I've ever disrespected you, crossed boundaries, or whatever it is, anything like that, DM me, or if you have my number, call me. Let's talk about it. Right? And a lot of people are like, "Oh no, you don't need to do that. If people don't like it, it's their problem." Blah blah blah. I agree with that. However, that is evidence that we're divided. If we don't have to be on the same page, but as long as we try to find the common ground, then we've created a unity right there. And that's where like I took the initiative to do that because I'm like, okay, again, if anyone has any issues with me or whatever, if I'm too much, because I admit that there are moments where I can be over energetic. I can be a bit on the wall side, especially with people who have no idea who I am, right? And that's when I got a lot of praise from it as well. Like they said, some people thought it was very courageous what I did because again, no one's ever seen someone do that. Where hey, there's a problem, I'm giving you the space to talk about it in a mature way.
And I think that's the important part, right? Like giving people
safe space,
license to open themselves up and provide you feedback. And have that conversation.
Yeah.
Like that takes a lot of courage, not only from their point of view, but from your point of view to like allow that.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes with social media and everything online, like we have these, we wear multiple masks.
Yes.
And people will sometimes forget that their online mask doesn't necessarily have to be their actual face-to-face physical mask.
Yeah, they hide. They hide through the screen.
Yeah, they hide through the screen, like all that type of stuff, and and then there's a part of me that's like, fucking, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
why are you hiding behind the screen? Show your fucking face.
Yeah, don't be a coward.
Don't be a coward.
Because
put your fucking face on your fucking profile rather than some icon or like something else and get in front of the camera and fucking talk about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, like I the last thing I ever want to be called is a coward.
Yeah.
That's the last thing.
Yeah.
And that's where like I take that shit very seriously.
What about a cow? Would you be called a cow?
Maybe. Maybe.
Ward. You're a fucking ward. Shit.
Man.
I just like to make people laugh.
Yeah, no, I love it, bro. I love it.
It's fucking
I
funny.
love it.
I fucking like. Look,
You've got the humor I like.
yeah,
You've got the humor I
Yeah.
like. I love it.
it's
It's that random.
Yeah, it is random.
Yeah.
It's very random. Look, I know on my my main photography Instagram account,
Mhm.
I probably confuse a hell of a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I just come across a lot of shit and I just need to share it. And it's
Of
either
course.
cat memes,
Yep.
or it's like going out party scene,
Yep.
or it's like me with fucking fake cocaine on my nose.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. But again, it's content and it's fun.
I just find it so funny.
Yeah, and it's just that's how you enjoy yourself and that's how you enjoy
Yeah.
life.
Yeah,
And that's how it should be.
And then a couple of years ago, I had a well-renowned traveling international model.
Mhm.
Um,
Was this the one from Ireland?
no, she's not from Ireland. She's Australian.
Okay.
But she sent me like a laughing reaction to something that I posted,
Yes.
and I was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you find that funny." I was like, because I share some random stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I find it really funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. Like, you know, because sometimes I'm a little bit worried of like what people think.
Yeah, of
And
course.
she was like, nah, just keep doing it because it's it's part of your personality.
Yeah, it's you.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you be? Well, because it is tiring to be everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very simple and relaxing and free to be you.
Yeah. 100%. Because then you don't have to lie about it.
Exactly. Like before.
Yeah, like my fucking caca mouth. Like that's a real thing now. I'm like fucking fuck.
Yeah. I've not heard someone say "kaka" in like since I was like 8.
Was that your sister?
Yes.
Ah.
There you go.
What are your plans for the rest of the year? 2025.
2025.
You gonna like finally go to Hollywood and be on that
I've built
Tarantino movie?
Oh, I wish. But I mean, look, through the connections that I've built through in America, I've got now friends in LA, Hollywood, Texas, New Jersey, Arizona, Minnesota, and also Minneapolis as well. And I've built a lot of friendships there, especially in New Jersey as
That's
well.
fucking dope.
Yeah, shout out to my New Jersey boys. They're gamers. They do like streaming and stuff like that with games, and as well they do YouTube reactions and stuff like that. Punch Drunk ENT, PDE. Shout out to Swaggy Nwaggy and Just Dan. It's always a good time when we play Fortnite together. So it's always fun. And and again, like going back to building the connections, like you don't know the types of people you will meet and the friendships you'll build.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, but most importantly, who are they connected to? You know what I mean? I've had rappers on my show. I've had rappers on my show that are connected to. I don't know if you know who E40 is.
The name rings a bell, but remind me.
Songs like "Tell Me When to Go." It was like a dance song.
Yeah.
Yeah, or "You and Dat" with T-Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that rapper, he's actually who was best friends with Tupac. There's actually a photo of them together on Google. You can even Google it right now.
Wow.
But one of his.
Hey Jamie, can you Google that shit? Oh, I don't have a Jamie.
But I'll send you the photo, and then after this, and we'll say it. But one of the rappers that E40's worked with, his name is Miller. He's also a friend of mine. He was on my show, and I'm a fan of his because he does raps and stuff like that. He's now in Hollywood doing movies and stuff like that too. And he was on my show. I had the opportunity to be on my show, and we would just bounce off each other back and forth. We just ended up being great friends. He ended up helping me get to the next stage of where I was going, because I used to work in car rentals as well for 5 years. And when that time was up, I was really scared because that was actually my very first full-time job that I got. And I wanted to, because I was so burned out because of the stress, the unnecessary stress that was there. And I wanted to go to somewhere different, but I was scared to because, you know, I was 4 years of just hell and being broke, and I don't want to go back to that. And then when I remember we had a video conversation. It wasn't through Instagram Live. It was a video conversation. And he would tell me, man, if you feel that the time to make the move, we got to make the move, and you'll be okay. You know, and I ended up being okay. Because I work in a warehouse now that does like school uniforms, and 6:30 to 2:30, and then after that I go straight to the gym, and then I've got 5 hours to do whatever the hell I want till it's bedtime.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that way I work on my show. Like if I need to do promos or whatever, and if I need to join on lives or whatever, you know, I'd still be, you know, and these types of things. And and then again, like those connections help. You know, that's what amazes me, and that's what makes me so happy. Like I feel happy right now.
Yeah.
I feel blessed right now because knowing I have the ability to build connections as well as, you know, build relationships and friendships to people that I never thought I would be friends with.
Well, it's a real skill, right? Like being able to relate to somebody and connect with someone in a way that, and this is going to sound a bit wanky, but in a way that like benefits you and them at the same time.
Absolutely.
So you can like work together.
Absolutely.
You know, like, and it's this whole progress thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like,
I'll even give you another example, like because I love I love all the rappers from Texas, like especially in Houston, and
I'll tell you something offline.
Okay,
Just remind me about that.
all right, we'll do. So all my favorite rappers get interviewed by a station called 97.9 The Box, and I had the opportunity to go on Instagram Live with two of the hosts that are there.
That's fucking cool.
I know, and which I never thought.
Shit.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
And then like because they were kind of going back and forth banter about, you know, someone stealing a credit card and using it and stuff like that. But then when that conversation was done, I just asked a curious question. I said to the person, I said, his name is J Mac, and I said, hey J Mac, have you done the basketball game with one of my favorite rappers yet? Their faces dropped because that was so long ago, and they didn't think that would reach obviously international.
Wow.
So their faces drop, and they're like, how the hell do you know about that? So I started telling them basically my knowledge of Texas and stuff like that, and they were just flabbergasted.
Wow.
So now both of them follow me on Instagram too.
So are you going to Texas
This
year?
am. Oh, not this year. No way. I'm concentrating on Egypt at the moment.
Okay.
Egypt will be in October.
Hey.
So that's my first step. I want to get that part out of the way. And then 2026, 2027, that's when hopefully I'll be traveling to do an international tour of obviously the talk show.
Yeah.
My podcast as well.
Yeah.
And,
that's fucking cool, man.
So within that time frame, obviously build more connections, build more people that I can actually trust. Because again, I'm making the big jump from Australia to America by myself. So I'm just like, you know. So I've really got to be wise about not just showing up there. I've got to prepare myself. So yeah, but again, I don't know what to expect when I get there. So
that's the exciting part of it, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
because I was gonna say you've moved a few times as well. You've said, and you would have been like, oh well, that's what you wouldn't know what to expect each time you move.
Yeah, each time you move, you don't know what to expect. But I'm planning some stuff like this year. So there is on my photography Instagram a expressions of interest to be part of a couple of different retreats. I'm still collecting numbers, but we're going to do some stuff like internationally. And if that goes well, then we'll just continue doing them. And, you know, like the people that I have in my circle that I'm working with, like we've got some really big ideas on stuff to do. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
There you go.
So hopefully we get to do at least 2 retreats this year and, up and onwards for the next year.
Yeah, and love that.
Yeah.
I mean, even for me, like throughout the year, it's just still more interviews, organizing guests. I've already got guests lined up for March, April, a little bit of May. Yeah, because I'm always trying to think ahead there. And I have guests every fortnight because that way I'm able to spread everybody out.
Yeah.
Because if I do it every week, I'm scared I'm going to run out of guests by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, no, I'll keep it two. That way I've got everyone lined up for the rest of the year. And then obviously as we go on, we'll obviously have more guests on and so on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
That's how
cool,
I've planned
man.
it.
How can people contact you?
Instagram for the most part, Labzy, that's LABZYY. I don't know why there's two Y's, but it's two Y's at the end. But Real Talk with Labzy is just one word like that. Yeah. And Facebook as well if you want.
Yeah.
What else? No, that's it. Oh, you can do TikTok if you want. TikTok, Real Talk with Labzy, same thing. I don't really post on there. But
Snapchat is like DJ Khalid, like if you want
Yeah.
to contact him.
Yeah.
Let me just take a selfie.
Okay.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Well, thanks so much, man, for coming along and
So-
having a chat.
And again, thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's been great to like just sit down and talk the shit
Yeah.
with like another podcaster.
Hell yeah.
And
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had fun.
Mad.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
So this episode will come out tomorrow.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Done deal. Love it.
Amazing. Thanks everyone for listening in. Make sure you hit subscribe and that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one. See ya.